And we are back here at the ESL Studios in Cologne, Germany, where you are watching the Total War Arena gameplay premiere. Joined again by Dave and Elliot. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me once again. Wow, reaching the halfway point of the day. 2 maps down, 6 games played. It's kind of a lopsided affair. I felt a little bad for Jesse when he was here. We could see he was genuinely disturbed. Hashtag I believe in Jesse.
He can bring it back.
He can bring it back. Guys, talk us through the game so far.
Well, yeah, as you say, it's one-sided, but I genuinely think they can bring this back, right? They've shown like moments where they've had it, and they just haven't quite finished it. I mean, Mecca's doing a great job with his cavalry, but he's going too far forward. He needs to pull back. He needs to just scout and then just get out of there. Wait for his moment to come. Bring up all of his melee infantry units, and once they're in contact, once they're in combat, then that's his chance. Then he flanks, then he hits them in the back. That's what he needs to do. But the whole team as a whole as well are being way too aggressive. They need to just wait there for their moment. They need to hold off. They're pushing too far forward. They need to not forget about their base, their home. They need to remember that. They need to defend that.
Pick your targets and pick your time to fight, because that's so critical. It's positioning and it's knowing when to engage.
Because let's not forget that they haven't lost this on numbers. Not once have they've lost this because of capturing. So if they stay, they defend, they have a much better chance.
Now, an important element that's changing up here as we go into our third map is units. We're changing up the actual type of units. Talk us through what's actually going to change for a layman like me who doesn't understand all of it.
Well, the stakes are higher. I mean, so the units are going to be more powerful, so it's going to be less forgiving on mistakes. There's going to be more, the stronger units. It's going to be a little bit more fast-paced. We'll see. It's a whole combination of things, basically.
And that's because we've stepped up the tier, basically,
we moved from tier 5 to tier 7, so we're progressing through the game now, and we're getting towards the high end of towards the end game, essentially, where things become a lot about just the tactics and about the units and about the roster that you have available to you and your commanders. So
are there any examples of what we can look out for that's different from what we saw in the previous to going to now? I know that I made the notes that damage will be increased, their armor will be increased, there might be new unit types.
The types are, I think, something may need to touch on, right? Because you've got the gladiators, which come in and they're a big deal.
Yeah, we're going to have the veteran legionnaires, who are an interesting one because they can be a kind of, depending on how they're spec'd out, because there's an equipment tree in there, of course, they can be a little bit heavier like the armoured legionnaires, or they can be a little bit lighter like the regular legionnaires. So you can sort of start to spec out your units a little bit more specifically, and you can see some really unexpected things.
Playing into your strategy, which is a nice little segue, so I jump onto that. Marathon being the third map that we're going to see today.
Yes.
How does this differ from the last two?
I would say key here is awearness.
It's a scary map. It's big and it's open.
It's big, yeah, it's open. The north side of it has, we're looking right now, the north side of it has a lot of channels that you can utilise, but it's also got forest, which you can use to your advantage. But also the south has a lot of forest down it too, but it's very, very open, so that leaves you open to cavalry. Mecca, this is your chance to shine, possibly, where you can flank around the back and do some real damage with the cav. But yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what gameplay unfolds in that southern forest and in that northern sort of choke point areas. You kind of get this interesting gameplay when they meet with the archers.
I want to see carnage in the middle. It can be awful. In the centre, if two armies clash there, it's so flat and it's so open, it's just a meat grinder. It's awesome.
Now, obviously, both Jesse and Lionheart are going to be sitting, with their team. They're going to be looking at strategy going into this. What sort of strategy do you think that they should be looking to play? Is there anything that you'd say this is what they should be looking out for?
Well, an interesting one actually that we haven't touched on is the deployable. So they can buy consumables with silver before they go in that might be able to change their units slightly. For example, we have deployable caltrops, deployable stakes, and deployable palisades, which essentially can either block off parts of the map and leave nasty traps in places. And we might have seen a different story if we'd seen that earlier in the match before, because they could have obviously built up defences around their base and then just waited for them to come at them, and would have done some damage if they tried to get in there.
So definitely something to look out for here.
I think
predictions.
I honestly believe that if Leonidas can control their aggression and they use it at the right time, they'll come out on top. I think that's the only thing they need to change.
Too soon in the previous games then?
Too soon, yeah, too soon. I can see that, you know, that they want to come back, they want to hit them hard, but they just need to wait for their moment, and that's what it's all about. It's about waiting for your moment. Get Team Germanicus into a position they don't want to be in. You know, force them into a position. This is where your strategy comes in, right? You get your lines right, get them, surround them, crowd them, and force them into that position, and then hit them. And that's when you hit them. But at the moment, they're trying to do it. They're trying to force it too much. They're not letting it evolve naturally.
So, looking at Marathon, playing at Tier 7, what are the units to look out for? If you guys are out there, what would be your mix?
Again, I feel like I'm reiterating, but it's those gladiator spears in the forest. I mean, we've seen fairly heavily dominated almost by the cavalry previously, and if in the forest now, that's going to be a different game. If the cavalry even so much as go near the forest, these gladiator spearmen can pop up and just... They're dead. Over. They're dead. Spiky things against big, tall, horsey things equals horse death.
So well placed somehow. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You said layman's terms, man.
No. And I absolutely appreciate it. I feel good, and I hope that you're enjoying it, watching at home. Of course, if you are watching at home, this is a great opportunity for you to get involved. All you need to do is head over to totalwar.com/ESL, where you can get into this closed alpha of this game. You can really be there. These guys are waiting to play with you and hear from you and basically work on this game, because it's phenomenal. The response so far from everybody watching at home, thank you so much. It's been so great, and that's really why you guys came here. That's why you brought the game. It's doing phenomenal. And
Thanks, man.
It's been entertaining from beginning to end, which means that we're probably going to have to start looking at our third map of the day. So, guys, I think unless there's anything else you want to say other than words of good luck and hashtag I believe in Jersey.
Yes. Hashtag I believe in Jersey. Yeah. Come on.
And shout out to Dogbert. I'll happily meet you in the hot gates. Just to say that as well. So,
there is a lot of contention about who owns the hot gates.
Yeah, that sounds steamy.
That's the steamy hot gates. We'll sign up on that. And for the moment, guys, of course, we'll be back again. But for now, let's head over to the man who always can. That is Lee. And of course, the hot gate king himself. That's you, James.
Thank you very much, Sean and guys. So, here we go. Third map of the day, Marathon. It was 2-1 on the first map to Team Germanicus, who are actually just in front of us. So, we've been hearing the cheers throughout this one. That was on Thermopylae. Now we're moving on. Of course, they moved on to Salernum. That was a dominant victory. 3-0. Got closer. And as Elliot pointed out there, they just need to rein that aggression in a little bit. Maybe slow Mecha down. Mecha was getting out there getting the points. Now, this is actually a big deal on this map, because they got that big swamp. If you can get vision of that, you can sneak around the sides, you can cover off. I don't think we're going to see any sneaking straight through the middle this time away from Lionheart. I don't think that's possible.
This is a bit of a harder map for it to do. This
is all about the woods. Woods around the side.
So you do have woods that go straight down the middle. There's an open plain in the center, and then there's a big...
Obviously got the beach down the bottom, basically. There's a big chunk of wood, trees there. We're going to see a lot of action in there, that's pretty certain.
Yeah, and that's where gladiators are going to come into play. Gladiators and Feared Spears are just brilliant to dominate the woods.
Yeah, there's the map
at the top and at the bottom there. There's a river intersection taking over from a base over on the bottom left. And that can be a great place to put your artillery on one side and kind of put your heavy infantry ahead. But if you get forced back to the base, which can happen, as we've seen a few times, especially on Thermopylae, and as you said, there's a swamp on the northeast side of the map, and that is basically where a lot of people like to hide their artillery. Also a good place for cavalry just to wait. But if you lose control of the watchtowers, which are both outside of each other's bases,
you're exposed. Yeah,
they see everything, and that is a focal point for attack, and it's an objective to take. As soon as you get that vision, like we see in the Salernum, vision is everything in Arena. Positioning is so important as well, but you can completely negate someone's positioning by just knowing where they are and just raining down artillery and archer fire onto it.
Let's see if it's possible. And of course, we have moved up to Tier 7 now, which is a big deal because there's a lot of new units being unlocked. As you just mentioned, the gladiators, they're a possibility. Much more maneuverable in the trees. You've got the horse archers in there. There's a whole lot of options now available to the teams.
Yeah, so if horse archers come into play, they are going to be very good when it comes to trying to stop in cap. And more importantly, when it comes to gladiators and thrown spears, those guys are going to be the guys in the woods, and they're a pain. And gladiators move really quick, but they have a massive trade-off, which is the fact but they have very, very low missile block, so they can be taken to pieces by range units. And we're going in here with Team Leonidas, and they've got Jake Fish taking some Cav, Mecha taking Cav as well, and Shermanator with Cav. Prince of Macedon going for some heavy infantry. Which going for his spears, and Towazon going for his heavy infantry with Germanicus. So that'll be veteran legionnaires at this level, I believe.
So here we go. You can see the two teams. Germanicus currently in the lead. Can Leonidas fight their way back into this one? Marathon. And the final map of the decision of the community, actually. Which one we'll see again? Will it be Thermopylae once again? There's that big heavy trees that we were just talking about all along the coastline. So easy to just bump into each other in these trees.
Yeah, Mecha with Cavalry will be the best person to see exactly where this pans out at the beginning. Using the Cavalry for scouting, very important at the beginning. You kind of need that, otherwise you end up in situations where you're just waiting for the enemy to come, and then all of a sudden one of your flanks is massively exposed, so it's always a danger. But the woods, you got to have someone in there, and why not have someone who's done a great job holding the line for as long as he has to in Jesse Cox.
And there's Mecha, of course, sending himself out. You can see covering off. Actually, he's going to back off. He's going to back off, it looks like. So there's Gunnar. That Gunnar see is positioning in there. I have to be careful of my positioning. They are in the arena with me. They can't really hear too much, but you never know. You've always got to be cautious you don't give positions away just this early, especially when nobody's got the tower. You can see the tower in the distance has been capped out by Germanicus, and then, of course, Leonidas on the tower here. So nobody up in the hills just yet. Mecha, you can see with the Cavalry just getting a little scout on, just getting a peek, and it is, well, yeah, if Baron's there, you know Duck's there as well, up on the top right. Whoa! Just a little dodge at the last second there by Mecha.
Yeah, he used that cavalry charge to duck out of the way of those flaming artillery shots. But he needs to be careful here, because he's going to put himself in a position where that charge could really affect him.
Oh, missed it wide this time. Goes wide. Paul's actually taking some
There's
damage.
Another volley, though.
Oh, he's going to miss again.
I don't know. There's more.
There's more. There's lots of volleys coming in.
Oh, they've all missed. Yeah, they came close. I think that's about as close as you're going to get. I think the Diplex firing his shots away. See what he can do. But
Gunner's putting down shots of his own. Meanwhile, Prince of Macedon getting a peak. Baron at the top there. Now you can see got support coming in with him as well. So they're laying themselves out. But Baron has, I think, positions which tells you, you know what? If we just saw it where Mecha was looking at the top there, where Baron was, there's actually a route around the back, isn't it?
There is indeed.
I bet your Dux is going around there.
You know, that is...
There, look. You can just see it in the corner of the screen. Bet you that's going to be Duck sneaking around the side.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised with Duck doing that. And yeah, he especially likes to go for his light infantry units as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But either way, Baron right now holding the
just on the screen
ground.
right there. You can see the other side of this hill. There you go. Exactly.
Go
just
there
like,
now.
Somebody go there. Not too sure. Paul's is taking a lot of damage on this. Whoa! Mecha just got hit pretty hard there. Finally, Diplex managed to land on towards him. Yeah, Paul's taking a lot of damage. You said actually with me when we were setting up for this, what consumables to maybe take with some, especially the archers. Take armor, is what you said. Always take... Oh, Shermanator just got absolutely nailed. And Jay did. Diplex is doing a great job with artillery, and that's the difference. They don't hold the far point tower. You can see there's a white flag on it now, so nobody is covering it. The same with Leonidas, actually. They've stepped away from it. It's probably becoming a bit of a magnet for the artillery shells.
When your team's already that far ahead, though, you don't really need it. It really only covers your own base. So, yeah, there you go. Look at the top of the
surprise!
map.
Round the back. Shermanator's found them. Shermanator's found them. Luckily, he went there. I'm pretty certain that's going to be Ducks back there. Let's have a quick peek. Can't quite see. Mecha's going to go straight through the middle. He's going to keep himself alive there. We can see Jesse Cox going in. The Pilates coming out there, raining down, and actually they could do a lot of damage if they get close on towards Sigaron. Sigaron realizing that. He's got support. Leviathan's going to cover him off. There's the charge. They're going to go headlong into each other. Jesse Cox, I don't think he managed to land the charge. Oh, that artillery. That was team fire, I'm pretty certain.
That artillery is just devastating. And in Jesse Cox's units, the foot companions are very slow as well. Oh, and both teams are just firing artillery back and forth.
Artillery raining down, and Sigirion getting absolutely nailed. There's going to be the more artillery coming in. Jesse Cox taking that full frontal to the face. Just blasting across him. Malakath, meanwhile, in the background, is going to fire off his volleys. trying to keep them at bay, but I'm not too sure whose artillery is doing more damage, whether the team fire coming out onto Jesse Cox is to maybe do a little too much.
And he is getting surrounded, so it goes for a shield bash, going to do a lot of damage. He's completely unsupported. I don't know where his teammates are. Malikov is still there, but one unit of spears has got through, and there's cavalry as well. This left flank is going to collapse.
Yep, if you look behind him, you can see he's actually getting flanked around as well. So his own units have been kind of separated. Jake's making a good charge. He's found the artillery. He's found Diplex. He's going to get him. Jake Fish has got him completely. That's Diplex going down. Nice work from Jake there. That's one of the artilleries down. You can see another one to the right-hand side, which Jesse has vision of right now because they're pushing up. They're actually going to try and take the tower on the right-hand side. They're pushing up towards it. It's Shermanator and Total Warzone going for that one. Once they get, they're going to have full vision of everything that Team Germanicus have.
Yeah, and they're pushing really hard here. Taking out the artillery is really important, but you can see Rambler and Hugo Star fighting with Mecha's Cav. Oh, that's going to be a massive one. There you go. Rambler has been taken down. And yeah, he's just lost a full unit. But there you go, Paulus, once again, probably the person who's making most things happen over on Team Germanicus. And once again, just coming in at the right time.
Mecha flank didn't quite work out. Did a bit of shock, but he's not going to be able to hold on. That's going to be his morale. And then that's going to be a rout coming out from Mecha, so his units are pushing out. Meanwhile, though, the top battle is actually being won out by Team Leonidas here. Looking like they're slowly losing out in the forest at the moment. The woods on the coastline, Germanicus have the advantage. Numbers-wise, it's still very close. Just about 30 between the two of them, so still a very, very tight battle. That artillery going down, you can see in the distance up there, the cavalry just routing round. They're going to try and find Diplex. Diplex just off to the right-hand side. You can see Jakefish. He's got a second one. He's found Diplex again. He's got another artillery unit down. Jakefish doing work for Leonidas right now.
Yeah, once again, he just likes to take out his artillery. And he's done so good with the cavalry so far this weekend. And he's just always there doing the damage. So, yeah, doing what he can. But that left flank has been absolutely obliterated. But you can kind of see that Team Germanicus is kind of falling back on itself, really playing very defensively here. And
Gunnar's precariously moving forward with his artillery.
Yeah, this is when it gets very precarious for cavalry, because at the end of the day, if one unit of cavalry gets through, there's going to be nothing to defend them.
Well, Jesse's down, but has the job been done? It is still neck and neck between them, just 20 troop difference at the moment, so it's really down to positioning between the two teams. As it stands, Mecha making a good run here. That's going to be a great charge straight onto Sigiron. Sigiron's in trouble here. Gets himself the charge at the right moment. There is the cavalry charge. Bam! Straight through the middle of him. Sigiron gets absolutely massacred. Is he going to get routed? Yes, he is. And then Mecha should be able to clean up there. Needs to back away because Rambler's going to try and catch up. Look at Jakefish, though. He's hit and run and taken out all the artillery. Beautiful stuff.
He did a great job there. He likes to hunt down Diplex's artillery, and he's done a great job with it. And so far, this is getting an interesting one. There is still more infantry coming out of the woods to the top, so that might be Duck. And then we might have a situation where he goes for the base.
Yeah, could be trying to get around the back there. The cavalry is still back, but look at the units, though, for Leonidas. Jesse's team are pushing through here. It's still very close. The cav charge, is it going to hit them? Oh, only just. He had to change direction, which would have slowed things down, and the cav charge will not have gone in completely. He is coming technically down into the water, so at the moment, Sidestrafe is been left alone. Ordinarily, Sidestrafe completely covered off by Lionheart, but Lionheart's nowhere to be seen here. Sidestrafe's been left alone. Jakefish once again coming round, trying to route around the side of his units. And the cavalry, well, Paul's trying to do some work at the back there, but overall, I feel that Leonidas' cavalry have been more impactful this time around.
And there you go, Duck, just walking around, destroying that artillery, making sure that both teams now have nothing to use. And Gunnar just having a run away.
Yeah, Gunner's actually still managed to hold on. Paul S, again, this is exactly what Jesse talked about, how much they've been having to chase Paul S around the map, because he has done magnificently well. Jakefish, though, has caused just as many problems in this game, no doubt about it.
They need to kill this blob of archers here because they are going to do so much damage. So right now it comes down to taking them out.
Sherman's going to come straight in from, look at Leviathan. Leviathan realizes, is he going to get it across in time? I don't think he is. Sherman's got himself, he's packed up beautifully. There's the cavalry charge going straight through. Oh,
there's almost
side strafe just got destroyed. That was a beautiful flank. And now Mecha could do the same. Mecha's going to get the cavalry charge straight on the back of Sagiron. Sagiron and side strafe completely charged down.
Rambler went for the
cavalry
charge.
doing work for Leonidas this time around. And the numbers tell the difference. Suddenly Leonidas in the lead.
Yeah, and while that charge went in there, Rambler went for his. He only caught a clip of that unit. He didn't hit all of it. He just hit a handful of it. So he is not going to have his charge for a good another 40 seconds.
And look at Prince of Macedon coming in from the top there. A full unit there as well. He will be doing a lot of damage. Going to charge around. It's Leviathan. I think he fancies taking a pop at there. Dr. Prost doing the work. Paul S still trying to just flank around, do what he can. Jakefish has still got all 3 units alive, although barely anything of them. But he engages on Ramble, and that buys time for Mecha to get away. And suddenly, this is just simply roundup tactics. However, numbers have suddenly swung back in favor of Team Germanicus. This is going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've been watching on the corner of those map, just sneaking around is a lot of
the top
cavalry.
of the corner, yeah.
And while this is going on, it looks like Duck has put one unit.
The cap is on. The cap
Into
has
the
started.
base.
Yeah, you can see it's down 4%, but so if Leonidas want to win this one, they're going to have to get in that base. They need to start clearing up, start getting kills. The units again have swung back in their favor, around about 60 swing straight back to Leonidas. So no doubt about it, they have the numbers. Duck, though, look at this, has managed to keep himself in on point. The cap is on. Gunner's going to try to hold him out there, but he's not. He's just going to get run down by Duck. So they need someone back there. They need to get cavalry heading back. And I think I can see just in the minimap, yeah, you can see there's a chunk of units. Paul S is going to join him, though. Paul S is already making his way back to there. The cap has been stopped for now, though. So great job from it's Gunner, isn't it? It's Gunner that's back there.
He's using his artillery crew the only way he can, which is to
the siege crew.
Sacrifice them into the fight. So right now, from Team Leonidas, they need to get into this cap zone. That's the only thing that's going to win them this game. They need to get everything they can and get it in there right now.
It's absolutely neck and neck between the two, 300 units each.
And the cap
just
got
about
again.
left. The cap stopped, but Team Germanicus are getting close. Duck once again starts the cap. Germanicus are the red team, by the way. Just don't get confused by Leonidas and Germanicus being the other side round. Leonidas is the blue cover. We are following here. Mecha, Lionheart back in there once again. Prince of Macedon's going to get around the side of him. There's a charge, a heavy charge, and that will put a lot of damage on towards Leonidas. Rambler is just going to get run down, but these few little units is enough to stop the caps.
Yeah, it all comes down. Oh my god, Fear just got used on Prince of Macedon. His unit broke there. I don't know where that one came from.
Lionheart's kept his general alive. He must have. It must be Lionheart's general that's still kept in there. Who knows? 21% of the cap at the back. They've got to send some cavalry back there. They've got to stop Duck's capping this one out.
Yeah, Duck's gone for the cap, and there's cavalry also in their base now, and it just seems to be slipping out of their fingers once again.
I'll tell you what, Duck's MVP right now. He's got his unit back here in his own base, keeping them out, and he's capping in Germanicus' base. He's doing work. Germanicus could go 6-1 here. That is going to be, I think that's Mecha's units that are now out of it as well. 42%. The cap is still ticking. Duck is going to win this game out.
The only thing that can happen right now is Shermanator needs to take this cav unit and run back to the base. A successful charge might be able to do it. Duck here will slowly be worn down, so it all comes down to getting that cav unit back to base. He has 2 minutes to do it.
Duck is going to get in straight on towards Prince of Macedon. That's going to slow things down. 59% now. They really need someone back there. There's Duck. You can see it's Shermanator that's actually gone all the way back there alongside Prince of Macedon. Duck's just keeping hold of this one. He's been stopped. The cap. No, 67%. We've switched sides. It confused the hell out of me for a moment there. 70% on the cap now. I think Germanicus have got it.
I can't see how they're going to stop it right now because Duck is just constantly harassing with his light units. He's dropped his spears.
Just there's no one there. That's his other units we just saw at the base. Nobody there from Leonidas. Germanicus have pulled out a rabbit out of the hat here because of Duck.
He has no units left. It's just that. Oh, that charge just annihilated his last unit, though.
But it doesn't matter. 88%, 89%. Even if they loses that one last unit that he's got, you can see he's in shock, trying to keep out. There's no way they can get a cap back in time. 95%. Germanicus have this one in the bag once again. The countdown from the team. And would you believe it, Lionheart and crew have managed to pull a victory from nothing on Marathon. Duck, man of the match for that one, no doubt about it. We knew he was going to sneak around that top. He does it every game. He sneaks around and once again use those. Drop the shields, I think maybe, who knows. He managed to get around that forest around the top there. And Leonidas, they didn't leave anything back there to defend.
He went with light units. He dropped his shields. He used his mobility and a light hoplite unit. And you know what? There's very few things you can do if they're going to be in the woods. They are just going to get the bonus. They got the speed, and more importantly, they got the cap.
Wow. Well. I thought Leonidas had it there.
They keep getting that though. It's so close, and then they just fall just at the last hurdle.
They had that moment where they had around 100 difference, and like you say, it was a Duck and Paul S once again. By the way, Paul S took out. It wasn't Diplex, it was Gunner. Took out Diplex's artillery. Fair play to Jakefish. Jakefish took out all the Diplex. That was great. But Gunner got left alone there. Now, obviously, I heard David, obviously from the dev team, talking about it earlier, how you could use those spikes. I've seen them in use because you've used them yourselves in our games. That would have stopped Paul S.'s charge, and that would have killed it, and that would have kept his units alive.
It would, but you got to have this kind of balance. As first of all, your team.
Obviously, you need people to run into them as well.
Yeah, first you need someone to walk right into them and get murdered. Yeah. I mean, some people are quite willing to go forward and get massacred, but not everyone. So the one thing it also calls down is you can build these little hard points, but that's quite easy to hit with artillery in a counter battery. But also, if your team's moving forward, you got to move over with them. So if you start putting down stakes.
We've also been seeing the fire battery, which is also a consumable. So they're obviously going with that over the spikes, the wooden spikes.
Yeah. So that's mainly with catapults and so forth. They have like all the consumables which involve like the artillery, like the fire and so on.
Yeah.
And then you've got the scorpions and so forth, and they're more about the architects, and they're more about putting barriers down and putting stakes down and so forth.
Right.
So they might be a lighter unit, but you can move them more going forward.
Yeah.
And they're a terror for heavy infantry, but they're also very good at staking a claim to a certain part of the map with the stakes.
Staking a claim.
Staking a claim. You know what? This is the weirdest thing. I say these things and didn't even realise
Didn't even think about it. Didn't even go for it. But anyway, Marathon 1-0 to Germanicus. Team Germanicus, led by Lionheart. And they are just in a studio in front of us. Have been doing brilliant work. And we knew as soon as we saw Baron in the top there, Duck was going to be with him. It's almost a given. Now, they did almost lose out the middle ground, so that's something they have to be careful about coming into this second round.
Yeah,
it was a risky close game only for the basic sneakiness of Ducks, but the question is, did the entire team play for that?
Yeah, it really comes down to what do you want to go for, and they can switch up what they're bringing to the field, and they're sticking very much to always coming in with that free cavalry. They can switch one of those roles up to go anything else.
So it's going to be Leviathan and Lionheart. They're going to be the guys that are going into the woods. We can see number 6 is going to be Baron. So again, Baron going up the top. I bet you number 4 is going to be Duck. Yes, it is. Of course it is, right behind him. So we're going to see them sneaking up there once again.
So I was talking to the guys during our break and just trying to work out what Lionheart's team's doing, which they're not doing in the other hole. And they were saying they have a 2-2-2 system. So they're working as groups all the time. So it's always groups of 2. And we've been seeing that with Sidestrafe and Lionheart. They're moving together, one with range, one with heavy infantry, moving forward as a block. Now, individually, you can take apart any of those one things with cavalry or range or infantry, depending on the combination, but put them together, and it's very difficult to chip away at them without taking a lot of casualties.
Whew, let's see how this one goes, ladies and gentlemen. It is game 2 on Marathon. So far, Germanicus leading 1-0 on this map, dominating overall. 15 minutes on the clock, so you can't run it down. Well, you could, and that'll go to the score, but we haven't got there yet, let's put it that way. And of course, 2,088 people on either side.
Lionheart going for some lovely scenery shots.
Some artsy shot there from Lionheart.
Either that, or he was going to attack it with his artillery. I was trying to work out which of them he was going to go for. But yeah, look at this. Obviously, you got anchoring down on that right flank, but you're starting to see now. You see a 2-2 with quite a lot of their units, especially straight in the center there. You can see that they're going to partner up on the right flank again, here. Yeah. Cavalry are free roamers. Basically, it's the best way to have them. There's no point in giving them a fixed position. You got to let them go, and there you go. They are coming with a battle plan, and it seems to be working with them quite well, considering the store we're going into here.
Yeah, they are, 6-1 up overall, I think, is the magic score. But 2-0 in maps, I think, is the one we're going to look towards. As it stands, though, Lionheart once again with side strafe behind him. Paul S doing a little bit of scouting work. And again, up along the top there, we can see already units spotted out. So, quickly checking out the armies, checking out what he's up against. I think he knows by now. You'd hope he did. Baron. You can see Warrior of Spirits just ahead of him. Oh look, there's Duck. So Duck, oh, that artillery, oh my word. Warrior of Spirits taking a beating, Warrior of Sparta, sorry. Taking a beating.
Taking a fire beating as well, oh my god.
Oh, and he's going back and forward actually. I think Duck was spotted there. Look at that, look at Duck. Duck's sneaking around the top again.
He likes to do that, and like I said, he's dropped shields. You can see that in his units, and because they're light, they do very good. And yeah, he decided maybe back off from some cav. But look, if he can cut off here, he might be able to surround this unit.
Look at the damage he just did onto Mecha there. Locked him up completely, and just goes for it. Completely breaks the morale of Mecha's first cavalry unit. Second one has to come in support. Oof, that fire raining down on Jesse Cox. Jesse's taking some damage, trying to go straight full frontal this time through the middle. I'm not sure that's going to work out. He's going to head for the trees, but he's spotted still.
Yeah, that artillery work from Diplex has just been causing so much damage.
Whoa, step forward.
That one definitely did, especially Lionheart. But you can see that the artillery is constantly forcing a reaction, and in some cases it is just disaster. But Lionheart now is feeling the pain of being hit by artillery.
It's breaking the lines, that's for sure. It breaks the lines up and it forces them out there. Actually, Side Strafe's units are in a bit of a blob right now. That's like an artillery stream, but he's fine. Like you said, he's covered off. He's got the difference. Lionheart's ahead of him. Jakefish is trying to break through on the left-hand side. He's going straight into Paul S. Paul S not looking. Will quickly move it, but the charge came out. I'm not sure if Paul got away from that one.
He got caught slightly, but he started moving at the right moment. And this is a bit dangerous from Lionheart because he is surrounded on all sides. He does have some infantry support. Sorry, some range support.
Side strafe! Oh my god, that artillery coming straight down on him. Oh, that's what I was worried about. That's when the blob's a big problem.
Yeah, I said it wasn't a problem.
Yeah, no, and there's another line coming in.
I was wrong. That is a problem.
I only know it because it's happened to me. I'm like, oh, this is not good. Oh, and the Pilate is coming out from Total War Zone as well into the back of Lionheart. Lionheart getting pushed back here.
Yeah, the numbers are telling as well. And this is a good chance right now. They're pushing forward. But if you look at the back, it looks like the cavalry broke through and took out the artillery.
Jesse Cox completely flanking around the back of Lionheart. Lionheart has managed to get a shock on towards Jesse's front line, but the back is different. Jakefish trying to get break on through once again. He did so much damage to Diplex in the previous matchup. This time, though, Lion's going to try and get on towards him. Not going to happen. Sagiron's got to move. He's stuck in the river. Oh, he just got completely annihilated by Jakefish in the river.
Yeah, once again, Jakefish is just hunting down units. He's done such a great job, and Mecha's following forward. And right now, it looks like the front line has just collapsed.
The cavalry is just pushing straight on through. While this is all happening, Baron and Duck are still pushing along the top there, but, you know, is it going to be too little too late? Because this time, the aggression of Leonidas, his team, is working out wonders. They are just plowing through the team, cutting through the lines with the archers. The artillery, sorry. Cavalry is the one I want.
Cavalry is definitely the one that I think Lionheart's team needs right now. Is they're getting cut up by theirs, and yeah, they're falling back into the swamp. You know, confuse the fight. If you're not having the best of fights head to head, you might as well take to somewhere quite. Oh my god! And that's what happens.
That's when you don't have shields.
Yeah, if you don't have shields, that happens.
But this is the reverse. You can see Dr. Pross getting chased out by Duck there. Duck, the speed he has. He needs to get on towards that group that's on the towers. Yeah, Dr. Pross is going to get chased down here. But as you just saw, a full charge from actual infantry. They've got the flag for a brief moment. I'm not too sure what's going to help. That charge is going to just catch on towards Dr. Bros. Dr. Bros, so that's archers at the back being picked off by Duck.
Yeah, once again, Duck just being such a nuisance. At this point, it's literally going to have to force Leonidas to send back cavalry. Because if they don't send back cavalry, Duck is going to get a capture again.
Meanwhile, Lionheart, you can see he's trying to cover this one off. The rest of the team trying to push on through, but they're already 200 units down. Mecha once again gets another charge, this time across the back of Rambler. The cavalry is causing so many problems. Lionheart, Leonidas Marby finally got this one together. Lionheart's units hiding in the trees still. They're a long way away from the fight, though. Lionheart's just getting flanked left, right, and centre. Jakefish on the charge. He's coming in. Rambler's been locked up. That's going to be a Jakefish coming through, engaging on towards Lionheart. Lionheart's units just dropping like flies, trying to get himself back onto this one. But you can see the cap. It's going to start out soon. It's Total War Zone going marching in towards the cap point.
Yeah, but here's the worry, right? That cap is going to happen in both bases once again. So now both teams have to work out how much they're going to commit to defend and how much they're going to commit to attacking. And if that artillery is still up, and I'm not 100% sure if it is, that's when it becomes a problem.
Oh, Duck's going to have to go. You can see they've realised it. They're having to pull back. So Duck's coming back. I didn't see who else was with him. I think it's Hugo alongside him.
Yeah, Hugo.
So he's having to draw himself back in here. But that's going to buy time. Look, you can see the cap has just begun. This time around, is it going to be enough? Leonidas starting the cap out. Rambler's going to try and distract them. Baron's drawing back. Everybody heading back to base.
Yeah, so right now, the Cav players for Leonidas have to stop units getting close to that point, because if they start damaging the Kappas, then it's just going to drop. So it all comes down to cavalry in range like Malekith and charges like that. But here comes the cavalry, and this is where it all comes down to. If they can get in and do the damage, and right now, Mecha needs to be careful because he is one of the few Cavs remaining for his team.
Yeah, Hugo could be a big player in this game. He's got all three of his cavalry units fully alive. He could cause a big difference if he can get a couple of good charges. We just saw what a good charge did there from Mech onto Lionheart. He's getting flanked, so they're going to run straight into Duck. Duck will do a whole chunk of damage on towards him. Duck also has come all the way back. So Duck has actually given up completely on the cap on the other side. We're up to 40% of the cap now for Team Leonidas. Could they be getting themselves another victory on the board? It's a much needed one, that's for sure.
Most definitely. This is dangerous though. Malekith is in a very big blob with his range units, and a successful charge is going to cut him to pieces.
And I think he's realised it. Oh no, he hasn't. He's still in that big blob. Malekith needs to separate himself.
He's going to go through him.
Yeah, Duck's just rushing straight in there. Duck's going to go straight, charge, engage them. There it is, heavy infantry charge. Bang, that cap went straight down back to 25%. So much damage coming out from Duck and boys.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out where the rest of the infantry is, because they still have a significant number advantage here. It's almost 2-1, but it doesn't seem to be playing like that in the actual battlefield. And Hugo Star and Duck are just cleaning up. Well,
that's the question. Can they get back in there and can they do enough? Because they are losing troops. The problem is they have the numbers, but it's not the right type of numbers. It's not right figures. We can see coming around the side, though, this is finally it. The cavalry charge is joining back in. Finally, Leonidas' support has arrived. It's going to get around the backside of Hugo. Might just about get it. It's Jakefish coming in once again. Didn't get the full cavalry charge off this time, though.
So he's going to back off for it and go for another time. But once again, this is a person, it's coming down to Duck.
Shermanator did get a cavalry charge this time, though. But this is so close. Considering it was almost a 400 unit difference right now, it's down to 150 already. Jakefish could be pivotal in the victory here for Leonidas. That cavalry charge did a lot of work. Hugo got a bit of damage on towards him. They are slowly engaging on this one. It's now 150 units difference.
That unit of Hugo Star and obviously Duck's spearmen are the ones who are causing the pain, and they need to be tied down. But Jakefish, all he can really do is engage, and there's a charge right into the back of him.
Look at Duck coming around the back. He's going to try and get on towards Prince of Macedonia, who's so low on hit points. Duck's chasing down Malekith. Malekith almost taken out. Gets a good quick charge on towards him. Malekith forced away. Now you can see they're all pushing out of the flag zone. This is actually slowly going towards Germanica's way. I've no idea how.
And that warrior spot is charging against Yugastar. It goes evil, and both of them are pretty low.
So very tight right now. Mecha gets himself back in there. Forget the cap. The cap doesn't mean anything. They need to set themselves up. They need to start getting kills here because Duck, once again, with his spearman, no shields at all, are just wrecking through.
There's still range units. If the cavalry get taken out, they are just going to destroy Duck. It all comes down to Duck can kill that unit.
I thought they managed to kill Dr. Prost. Dr. Prost has finally come in.
Coming in as well.
Duck realizes the problem. Dr. Prost is going to rush straight in towards him, but he's going straight in towards him. Jakefish is going to get the cavalry charge. Duck's going to try and charge into them. Is it going to be enough? He just got mowed down as he ran in there. Duck just down to one unit. Finally, Leonidas seems to be coming out on top in this battle. It has been very hard fought around this cap point.
They need to still be careful though, because Duck is doing a great job microing here. He's trying to dodge archers, but he's lost vision now, and he's just going to keep getting hit.
Oh, so close. That is going to be Duck out of it. There is just a couple of units left, 60 units left. It's just Hugo being chased around. Team Leonidas, they won the first game today. They may finally gain themselves a victory here. It's been a hard-fought one, that's for sure, but they've got themselves a win on the board. We can't see where the 59 troops are. It doesn't matter. The cap's going to come out here. Hugo's the last man standing. They're engaged. Doesn't matter. There it is. Finally, Team Leonidas get themselves another win.
Wow. It really came down to being able to take out a lot of that artillery quite early, just push forward. Yeah, that was just that center just disintegrated.
It's the cavalry. The cavalry straight up the middle were just ducking, weaving, bobbing, diving, doing whatever they could, but completely leading Germanicus on a merry dance. Great work this time around from Mecha and Jakefish, who, as we pointed out, had been too aggressive in the past, but this time it worked out.
Yeah, because it all comes down to being able to just find that gap and break it open. And cavalry make you second guess, and that's definitely what happened there. Cavalry behind you. Do you go forward? Do you back off? Miscommunication starts to kick in. People start going in different directions, and then you start getting picked off. But yeah, those cavalry charges from Mecha and Jakefish. Jakefish constantly is hitting big priority targets in the rear.
And some great artillery work as well. Fantastic stuff. We're going to go to a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, the third map on Marathon will be underway. Will Leonidas get it back, or will Germanicus win again?